Our first guest has created a name for herself in the entertainment industry through passion and determination. She has become a bright light that inspires and guides others, wanting to get involved in entertainment while still pursuing her passion for philanthropy by working with a nonprofit organization called Feed the Homeless Project. Joining us now is Sisily Marin, but I call you Sisi. Can we call you Sisi this segment?
Yes, you can definitely call me Sisi.
So good to see you. It's been a while since we've seen each other, and I know you very well, but I feel like there's still so much more to get to know. A lot of the viewers that don't know you yet, you're Cuban. Yes. You are from Cuba, and we met each other through Univision. We'll get to that later, but first, tell everyone how it all got started, how it all became this beautiful dream that you've been living. Honestly, it's a true inspiration.
Thank you, Lily. I'm so happy to be here. Well, I was born and raised in Cuba. I moved to Miami at 14 years old, not knowing a word of English. So I literally started from the bottom, you know. And my journey, oh my God, it's been so long because I got said no so many times. And I don't want this to sound cliche, but it's very true, especially, you know, being Latina. And back then, you know, 10 years ago or whatever, it was so much harder. You know, diversity wasn't really a thing. So it took a lot of, you know, sacrifice and determination. But I moved to LA. I started doing beauty pageants. I became Miss Cuba Reina Hispanoamericana, which was something that I never thought I would be able to do because I wasn't really raised in pageants. Yeah. You know, being raised in Cuba, you don't have those dreams. Those are dreams, but they're not something that you can call tangible. Yes. You know, you never think you're going to be able to achieve anything like that. So for me to do all these things that I've been doing have been such an amazing journey. And yes, we met in NMLS, Univision, a long time ago.
In our youth.
In our youth. No, I'm kidding. But it was such an amazing experience. And honestly, that was one of the things that really pushed me towards, you know, moving to Los Angeles. That being on that show was my school. And you know it. You know it.
I love what you did, though, because both of us, you know, it wasn't necessarily the outcome that we expected, but that doesn't stop you. So what is it? Like you said, you grew up in Cuba. Yes. You knew that, you know, there was a life outside of Cuba, but you didn't think that any of these dreams would be achievable. So what is it that just keeps you going?
Ooh, inner strength, you know, inner strength. I think I have been able to turn all those things that I thought to be so negative growing up, you know, like family dramas, you know, not being raised with my dad abandoned me. I'm very open about that. And I want people to know my story because I want people to feel inspired. You know, people watch me and you on social media, but they don't really know what's happening inside. And, you know, we're not perfect. We will never be perfect. But the truth is we can be better. And I think that that's what I've been able to achieve lately. You know, I've gone through a lot of healing and, like I said, inner healing, you know, and just that strength that keeps you going. I took all those negatives from my childhood, all of those dramas and traumas, and then I have literally just kept going and learned from them. Because if you let them push you down, then you're gonna stay down. But even with NMLS, you know, even being eliminated, not making it to the mansion, but being on the show, that was a huge goal for me. That was, you know, taking all of that experience into, oh my gosh, I'm actually gonna do something with what I learned, and I moved here, and it was the best decision that I've ever made.
I'm so glad you did. It's been an inspiration to see you just, you know, within these past 6 years. It sounds like a lot, but I feel like you've also done way more than most people would do in 6 years. Movies, pageants, you know, you've done so much. How do you do it all? What, like, you know, has been one of the biggest highlights from these past couple of years after Univision?
Oh my God, I have so many, and I'm so blessed to say I have so many highlights. I did a commercial with Channing Tatum, couple of years ago, about 2 years ago, and it was very amazing because it was my first time doing a commercial with like a celebrity that I admire, look up to, and he was the nicest person, and that was a really great experience. Another highlight has been being on movie sets. You know, I am in one scene of a movie that just came out that's called I Got the Hookup Too. Is the sequel to the first one that was in '98.
Oh wow!
I know, we're little girls, and I got to be in the second one, and that was really amazing. amazing, from, you know, meeting my favorite actors and actually chatting with them, or, you know, being on a TV series like I am right now that we just wrapped our first season and it's going to air soon.
What is it called?
It's called Sangre Negra in Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in English. It's bilingual, and this is something I love.
Yeah.
It is a lot of Latin characters and actors.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a blend of a lot of people, but it's a big, big Latin community, and I love that. It's a show that allows us to be us, and you know, if we're acting and we're improving and then we say something in Spanish, that's okay too, because the show is called Sangre Negra.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a really amazing show. You guys should all watch.
When can we look forward to it, and where?
So it's going to be airing on El Rey Network. I'm still waiting on dates, on release date, but we just had the wrap party for the first season. We're all very excited.
That's cool.
I can talk a lot about it, but I also have another project coming up. So when I can, I'll talk about it. But there's a lot of things happening that I'm really excited about. And, you know, other highlights have been being in fashion weeks. And this is another thing. I know I talk a lot.
That's why you're here. That's what we want you to do.
Being on fashion weeks, for example, this is something that I wanted to tell little girls out there. I have never been with a modeling agency ever.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yes, and this is something that people don't know. I have always been freelance when it comes to modeling, and how I've done everything I've done has been going to open castings, open calls, going to networking events, meeting people, doing all these things that people talk about all the time. I have done them, and I have met people, and I have traveled to New York and traveled to Miami, and it's just been an amazing experience, and I'm so proud to say that obviously there's people that have reached out and helped me, but I have done it on my own.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot. Yeah.
It's reaching out, it's knocking doors, it's doing everything, and I imagine very long nights, although you look gorgeous right now. I saw you posting some stuff yesterday, even like late into the day, although you probably had to get up early today and looking this glamorous. You know, I know that it takes a lot of work, and like you said, a lot of people don't see it. They don't realize what an agency can do for someone, how much work that eliminates, and you're doing it all by yourself. That's even better. I think you should feel even better getting to this point, doing it all. I know you were saying you want to like get this message out for little girls, and I know that you told me you've also been working with little girls, but I want to save that for when we come back from the break, because I know you've been doing a lot more. You said there's a lot of healing inside, and now that I feel like you've become the person you are, you want to give a lot back.
Yes, and that's also with my YouTube channel. I don't know if we have time.
Of course.
So that's why I started my YouTube channel as well. It's called That Cuban Girl, because I want to mix, you know, my culture, but I also want to do things that I love, you know, like fashion, hosting, acting. My friends actually here, we've been filming, recreating movies and making them our own to, you know, because I also have like a movie podcast that I talk about movies. And so I've incorporated all of that into my YouTube channel, and also because I want to collaborate with artists. Like I wanted to get to a point where a lot of like makeup artists or actors or singers, whatever, we all come together and we create things and we put them out there. And I think it's just, that's what I wanted to do with that platform. And so I wanted to invite everybody to check out the YouTube channel, to please subscribe, and to be a part. I want my brand to not just be my brand, but to become an empire of goodness and a community.
Sisi, and on that note, like you said, it's not just growing inside, but also we need to grow outside. And I know you've been doing a lot to give back to the community. So we're going to have our viewers stick around for the next episode. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Okay, don't go anywhere. Right, coming up next, we have a special Skype interview with author Elizabeth Vodova from San Francisco. You won't want to miss it. This is Somos Uno.